I wanted to ask you about the last few tunes, man, because I have to say that the tune that probably got me the most straight in my chair was a song called Stay.
Oh, I didn't know what you were going to say. I didn't.
Obviously, I love the Amy track. That blew us all away, okay? But Stay, that jazz influence, is beautiful, man. And that track goes back to that thing of what we were saying about having the room for you to breathe on it as well.
Yeah, you know, for y'all who don't know, Olu Dara is my pops, and he's a musician, and he influenced me in a lot of ways. And one of those ways was introducing me to jazz. And I always been that guy. I'm that guy now. I listen to jazz. I play jazz. I listen to Frank Sinatra. You know, I listen to Miles Davis and you know, just several different artists. There's several artists out there you wouldn't imagine me listening to, and because they're jazz. And you know, my friends, a lot of my friends don't know about my music taste. And when they come in the car with me, they hear me, you know, and they hear what I'm listening to. So the Stay record is just the music I like, and it's a mature sound to that tune. That one right there is definitely mature. I think it goes with the whole how I'm swagged out on the album cover. You know, it just goes with all of that.
So what are some of the artists, or should I say, who are some of the artists that we might listen to if we were in the car with Nas?
I mean, anything from Frank Sinatra to Queen Latifah's jazz album. There's a song on there called Hard Times I really like. Billie Holiday, stuff like that.
One thing I wanted to ask you about was, of course, Amy Winehouse. I know that you two had a kind of close relationship, but without really ever meeting. I just wanted if you could tell us about that.
Yeah, me and Amy we hung out one time in London, like through course of a week. We hung out a week, probably, or weekend, but we knew each other via telephone and Skype. When I would hang with Salam, I would see her on Skype. And that's how we really were introduced, like where we saw each other's faces. And before that, it was just, she was so nervous. She's such a real normal person. As far, she didn't care about being the biggest celebrity in the world. You know, what she did was coming from her heart. And you know, as we know, she dealt with a lot of problems while she was living, but she had a great spirit. She's brilliant. And you know, we share the same birthday, September 14th, and we had planned to all hang out. She had problems coming to the States, so we were trying to plan some kind of party thing, and with a bunch of people and just hang out. But the record is something, man, because it's like we're talking to each other in a way, you know, and it's just got this vibe to it, man. Yeah.
And you were working on something together that never saw the light of day, right? Me and Mr. Jones Part 2.
Yeah. That was the idea we was working on. Yep.
And so, what was it that first drew you to Amy? I mean, how did that first happen? Because you know,
the connection came from Salam Remy. I think she heard "Made You Look," and they got together and started trying to work on album or something they were doing. And he kept telling me, man, this girl is just like you. This girl is, I'm like, who? He's like, yo, this girl Amy. Who is she? You always telling me and this girl's like alike in our writing styles and all of this stuff. And he played me her music, and I was like, wow. Like, why haven't you been? Why don't we have 10 songs together right now? Like, this is a secret weapon. And I never heard of her. You know what I'm saying? And he introduced me to her, to her music, yeah, and to her.
And you mentioned the album cover. It's definitely an alternative album cover for Nas. It's definitely a grown album cover, if I may say that.
Yeah.
And it sort of relates, I guess, to the last tune, "Bye Baby," in the sense that you know, something which wasn't any of our business became everyone's business, and even people that knew you only for your music and loved you for your words that you chose to share on your album suddenly were thrust into a part of your world that we weren't necessarily trying to be in. And you know, and well, it's true, you know, some people are interested in that. We're interested on this show, we're interested in the music, other people are interested in different things. But you know, I just wondered how you dealt with that during that whole dark time of having all of that stuff out in the open.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the game turn into the whole gossip thing, you know, and it's I don't pay attention to what's online or what's being said in the gossip world, but it doesn't matter if I pay attention or not. It winds up on my kitchen table. It winds up at my front door somehow. You know what I mean? You can't escape it. Now, I could have went one way and said, you know, forget it, man. You know, do what you do. Act like you don't see it. Act like you don't hear it. Act like it hasn't been bothering you. Or I can go head on. I went head on. I went head on with it. So be it. It's my life. I do what I want. And I went head on with it, and I got the album cover. And I'm just planning to have like some of the best album covers in rap history. You know what I'm saying? I wanted people to look back and say his album covers told a story as well as his music. So I just wanted to stay true to my life and put that out there.
And I've got to say one thing that I'm definitely envious of is that if you line up all those album covers, you haven't changed much, man. What's the secret? Damn. You might look a bit more mature, but you don't look much older.
You know, I don't believe in stress.
Okay.
Because stress kills.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I'm not saying nothing bothers me. Stuff bothers me. But I just can't allow it to take me down. And I think maybe that's it. And then, you know, moms and pops, good genes. Salute to them.
I got a couple of questions, if I can get into them right now. I just put up online to our listeners if there was any questions. And one that just seemed to flood in as soon as I posted it was, are we ever going to get the DJ Premier and Nas album? Know anything about that? Everyone else seems to know about that. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah. I heard a few things about that. You know, Premier is incredible, and I have no answer at the moment. Well, that's very vague, but very honest. And kind of on point. The best I could do.
The best you could do, okay. And we mentioned J Electronica before. I thought that was an interesting hookup when you got together, because obviously he made an amazing song in tribute to you, which for all Nas fans we kind of related to. Are you still collaborating with him?
Trying to. He
mystery man that he is.
Yeah, very mysterious. I wanted to get him to do the entire Untitled album, the N-Word album.
Oh, you did?
He had ideas. He was pulling records from Jay Dilla. He was pulling records, and he was there with me while I was working on it, and he did the first record on there, and it would have been so ahead of his time, because no one at that time, he wasn't signed, he wasn't, you know, out there like that. So it would have been like great right now to go back and say, yo, this dude produced my whole album, you know what I mean? Yeah. Years ago, you know what I mean? That would have been cool, and he's ahead of his time like that. So
you could still do it. I mean,
now, but everyone knows who he is now, and some of the mystique would be gone if he did that. But you know, who knows how it will come out? Probably be crazy still.
It's amazing that you raised that, because one marriage that I've always wanted to hear is Dilla and Nas. Like one of my favorite beat makers, one of the greatest lyricists ever. Not quite sure why I haven't heard more of that.
You know what's crazy? I'm not sure why I didn't know who Dilla was until he was passing away. So to me, I was like, where was I all this time that I didn't know who he was? So and then I heard that he went under another name,
JD.
But even another name, Wasn't he producing for a Tribe Called Quest?
Slum Village, yeah. With Tip, it was the Umma. The
Umma,
yeah.
Right. So I knew that name, but I didn't know who that was. So when I finally put it together, I was like, wow, I never knew. You know, I never knew.
Well, we have stacks and stacks of Dilla beats, so you know where to come if you need those.
Gotcha.
I would do anything to hear you on that. But when you're in the mood, maybe we can get a Nas freestyle on a Dilla beat one day.
We have to.
If you're feeling it.
Have to.
Thanks for your time, man.
Thank you, man.